Let us start with a scenario. You and your family are on a road trip by using a car in the middle of the night. You are replying a text message while driving at the speed of 120 km per hour, and it was raining heavily. The car hits a deep hole and one of your tire blows. You hit the brake, but due to slippery road and your car tire tread was thin, the car skidded and was thrown off the road. Here, you have to think keenly and intelligently. What is the cause of the accident? What is the consequence of the event? And what can we do to prevent all those things to happen in the first place? Hello and welcome. I'm Javed and you are on the platform of Safety First. Today we are talking about what is hazard operability in short form. What is HAZOP? If you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon. And if you find the video informative, then like, comment and share with your friends and colleagues. You have to consider what other possible accidents might happen on the road trip. Can we be prepared before the accident occurs? This is the way how you have to think. Let us explain this accident scenario in a more systematic way. We'll try to understand this scenario with different aspects. We have to look for car speed, tires, visibility, car lighting, condition of road, and travel time. The car was at the speed of 120 km per hour. It is a fast speed. The possible cause of accident is rushing. What happened? Car skidded when emergency brake applied. Brake was applied to slow down the speed of the car. What were the safety devices in the car for such scenarios? ABS brake system, safety belt, and airbag. Secondly, if we will look for tires, the tread was thin, tire was too old, and that's the reason car skidded. For safeguard, we have to look, did there is any spare tire in the car? Once we will imagine visibility, it was very low because of rain, and also the car was rushing in the middle of the night. Once we will consider the car light was dim. We have to stop the car. We have to go to the nearest garage or to use emergency signal. What was the condition of the road? The road was rocky with holes, not safe for travel at the speed of 120 kilometers per hour. And lastly, travel time was in the middle of the night, in the foggy weather. And secondly, there were no street lights. If we travel in the daytime, maybe that is the safe time for such roads. So this is the way we have to think about the scenarios by making small portions of the accident. Remember, we are looking for hazards, and secondly, we are looking for operational problems. Dear friends and fellows, let us come on the main topic. What is HAZOP? Systematic technique to identify potential hazard and operating problems. A formal, systematic, rigorous examination to the process and engineering facets of the production facility. A qualitative technique based on guide words to help provoke thoughts about the way deviations from the intended operating conditions can lead to hazardous situations or operability problems. HAZOP is basically for safety. Hazards are the main concern. Operability problems degrade plant performance, product quality, production rate, and profit. Considerable engineering insight is required. Engineers working independently could develop different results. I hope it is the easiest language to understand what is HAZOP. Let us discuss the history of HAZOP. Initially prepared by Dr. H. G. Lawley and Associates of ICI at Wilton in 1960s. Subsequently, C.J. Bullock and A.J.D. Jennings in 1977. Chemical Industries Association published the edited version. ICI expanded the procedure called Hazard Study Steps 1 to 6. These are the most important points. It will help you to understand what is HAZOP. Point number 1, project exploration, preliminary project assessment to identify inherent hazards of process chemicals, site suitability, and probable environmental impact. Important things: hazards of process chemicals, site suitability, and probable environmental impact. You have to remember these words. Point number 2, project definition to identify and reduce significant hazards associated with items and areas. Check conformity with relevant standards and codes of practices, COPs. You can use checklist here. Point number 3, design and procurement to examine the PID in detail for identification of deviations from design intent capable of causing operability problems or hazards. Point number 4, during final stages of construction, to check that all recommended and accepted actions recorded in steps 1, 2, and 3 implemented. Point number 5, during plant commissioning, to check that all relevant statutory requirements have been acknowledged and all installed safety systems are reliably operable. The last and sixth point, during normal operation, sometime after startup, especially if any modification be made, to check if changes in operation has not invalidated the HAZOP report of step number 3 by introducing new hazards. These steps and procedures are adopted fully or partly by many companies, by many international organizations around the globe. Dear friends and fellows, you are watching Safety First. Today we are discussing about what is HAZOP. Let us understand now what is the objective of HAZOP. There are two main objectives of HAZOP. Number 1, for identifying cause and the consequences of perceived maloperations of equipment and associated operator interfaces in the context of the complete system. Number 2, it accommodates the status of recognized design standards and codes of practices, but rightly questions the relevance of these in specific circumstances where hazards may remain undetected. Do you know how, where, and why HAZOP is used? HAZOP identifies potential hazards, failures, and operability problems. Its use is recommended as a principal method by professional institutions and legislators on the basis of proven capabilities for over 60 years. It is most effective as a team effort, consists of plant and process designers, operating personnel, control and instrumentation engineer, etc. It encourages creativity in design concept evaluation. Its use results in fewer commissioning and operational problems and better informed personnel, thus confirming overall cost effectiveness improvement. Necessary changes to a system for eliminating or reducing the probability of operating deviations are suggested by the analytical procedure. HAZOP provides a necessary management tool and bonus in so far that it demonstrates to insurers and inspectors evidence of comprehensive thoroughness. HAZOP reports are an integral part of the plant and safety records and are also applicable to design changes and plant modifications, thereby containing accountability for equipment and its associated human interface throughout the operating lifetime. HAZOP technique is now used for most major companies handling and processing hazardous materials, especially those where engineering practice involves elevated operating parameters. For example, oil and gas production, flammable and toxic chemicals, pharmaceuticals, etc. Progressive legislation in encouraging smaller and specialty manufacturing sites to adopt the method also as standard practice. These are the reasons why HAZOP is being utilized around the globe by all international organizations and companies, especially those are related to oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, flammable or toxic chemicals. In the last of this training presentation, let us understand what is the purpose of HAZOP. It emphasizes upon the operating integrity of a system, thereby leading methodically to most potential and detectable deviations which could conceivably arise in the course of normal operating routine, including startup and shutdown procedures, as well as steady state operations. It is important to remember at all times that HAZOP is an identifying technique and not intended as a means of solving problems, nor is the method intended to be used solely as an undisciplined means of searching for hazardous scenarios. In all organizations, most of the time, the client and the consultant, they are asking for HAZOP plan. But to be very honest, most of the HSC practitioners, they are not able to understand what exactly they have to do and what is the purpose of HAZOP. So this is a basic training session. It's easy for you to understand in easiest way what is the purpose of HAZOP, what are the objectives of HAZOP, why and where, and how to use HAZOP. In the upcoming video, we'll go in depth to let you understand the philosophy of HAZOP, the hazards and operability. That's all for now. Training session related to HAZOP is over. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and share. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Till then, take care, good luck and Allah Hafiz.